Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the legislative session of Swarthmore Borough Council. This is Monday, February 10th, 2025. The time is 7 o'clock. We'll start with roll call. Ms. McCahill.
Here.
Ms. Garland. Here. Ms. Seymour.
Here.
Mr. Therian.
Here.
Mr. Boonen.
Here.
Mayor Spiegel.
Here.
Manager Webb.
Here.
Solicitor Scott.
Here.
Great, we're all here. Public comment. Who's here for public comment? Come on up. Tell us your name. Speak loudly into the mic. Oh yeah, tell us your address too. And be mindful of the 3-minute limit on public comment.
Thank you, Council. My name is Bill Pierce. I live at 301 Riverview Road. Mayor, manager, solicitor, also I had put my name in, my resume in for the open council position, and I'd like to take a minute and introduce myself and make sure you know who I am. Been here for about 8 years, but I was born and raised in Delaware County. I lived here until I was 23, and there was no jobs for here, so I left for 38 years. And I came back because I wanted to serve the Delaware County community, which I do today. I work for Widener Small Business Development Center with our small business people. I also work as the Small Business Development Director for Delaware County Economic Development Corporation, along with some work I do in the city. But I'm very interested in being on the council. I've always been associated with the communities I've lived in. We've moved a lot of times. It's my 12th home. But I just believe that I have a lot of opportunity to do things here. Spoke to some of the people on the council about my ideas, but I really think it's about reaching out and talking to people. My interest here is to help take what the council does and bring that to people in the community so that we can have communications and we can all be part of what's going on in Swarthmore. So I would welcome the opportunity to be selected for the open role, and we look forward to serving the community and bringing openness to the community and transparency so everybody knows what's going on.
Thank you so much. And those of us that have spoken with you, which I include myself in that group, really enjoyed talking with you.
Thank you.
Others for public comment? Come on up.
Good evening. I'm Rob Jordan. I'm at 101 Oakdale Avenue, and I hope everyone's enjoying the Eagles euphoria a little bit still. So, two things. I grew up with Steve Karp in Marple Township, and I know about his business acumen. I know about his engineering skills. And I think Bill Pierce, who just spoke, fits right in that mold as Steve. And they're very much alike. They both bring a lot to the table. And I hope you have an open mind for Bill's petition. And for anyone who might have thought that they already made their decision up, really the period for resumes just ended. So hopefully we'll all have an open mind. And we won't have any exclusive club, and we'll all look at what's best for the borough. And secondly, as a member of the Delaware County Green Space Task Force, I wanted to bring up the fact that there are a lot of great parks in Swarthmore, and one of them is the Little Crum Creek Park. And as we look at greenways grants and funding coming this year and next year, there are a lot of good opportunities at parks around the county and the borough, but I think having a bathroom, a private bathroom in a park might be a little beyond any budget or any idea we have to make enhancements. Normally we make those kind of enhancements when there's 300 people a day coming to a park or people coming from miles to enjoy the park. So I'm hoping that we'll keep our sites limited on what our budgets will allow as far as our local parks go. So, thanks for letting me talk.
Thank you very much. Who else is here for public comment? Anyone else? Okay, this is the only public comment period during this meeting, so if there are no other hands, I'm going to close out the public comment part of the agenda. Okay, moving along. Can I get a motion to consider, a motion to approve the January 13th and February 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any comments, changes? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Okay. Consideration to make an appointment to Borough Council for the remainder of 2025 for Steve Karp's vacancy. As a reminder, we've received resumes or interest from Cindy McLeod and William Pierce. Would anyone like to make a motion for either of these candidates?
I move Cindy McLeod.
Is there a second?
Second.
Who got that? Are you doing that, minutes?
Lisa.
Scarlett.
Scarlett.
Any discussion?
So you had a chance, I didn't get a chance to talk to the other candidate. Did he reach out to you? I'm just curious.
I think sent to everyone, resume.
The resumes
and,
were forwarded
Yeah.
Okay,
Thursday, or, it's Thursday. When I
Yeah.
received it.
okay. Yeah, he can reach out, I'm just curious how that happened for you guys.
Well, we received the information from Bill, and then Scarlett and I together reached out to
Oh, okay.
have a conversation,
Right.
just to get to know the candidate.
Yeah,
I did the same.
David?
okay, that's great, that's fantastic. I was traveling for work and I had a lot of stuff going on. I did not get the opportunity, but
Okay.
that's great. I'm glad some of you got to talk to him.
So there's a motion on the floor to appoint Cindy McLeod. So can we have some discussion about why the motion was made? Does anyone want to?
Cindy has served this community in many capacities over the years. She served their nation professionally. She has expressed an interest in this position in the past. I know her personally. She's a true class act and easy to work with, and one of those people who, you ask if you want to get something done, find a busy person. Well, that's Cindy McLeod. So I'm very comfortable in her joining us on this council.
I had a question, and maybe this is out of turn, but would the intent be, because now we have finance, a whole there, is the intent, I know Cindy has quite a bit of finance background, so would the intent be that she would fill up the chair?
I would hope that whoever gets selected will fill that position. That is the open position. No one else is expressing any kind of interest in changing. So I think that is logical. And what I want to say about Cindy, having gotten to know her over the years, is that she's played so many different parts in big operations. She's was a staff member and then became an executive, and so understands all levels of government, actually, of large institutions. I have the utmost respect for Cindy, and I know she's wanted to participate in our local government for quite a while. So has done volunteering, was on the zoning hearing board, is on the comprehensive plan, and I guess we talk about that offline. Is a member of the comprehensive board task force, or whatever it's referred to, the steering committee. And I'm sure there are many, many other things that she's done. So I feel very comfortable, and I enjoyed very much talking with the other candidate. Anyone else want to say anything at all? Okay. Let's take a vote. All in favor of appointing Cindy McLeod for the remainder of 2025 for Steve Karp's vacancy, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion passes. Welcome, Cindy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
So in advance of this evening, I had prepared oaths of offices for both candidates. I've given Marty the oath of office. If you want to proceed with the swearing in tonight, you can.
I think we should, unless we're pressed for time, but I don't see a reason why not.
Absolutely.
Cindy, you want to come up?
Not really. I was realizing I was going to be doing an oath tonight. I did not bring my copy of the Constitution. I have it on my iPhone. Does anybody have any objections to my using the iPhone? The full text of the
It's
Constitution.
the new pocket
So,
constitution.
Cynthia, you could raise your right hand and place your left hand on the Constitution, as it is. And repeat after me, please. I, Cynthia McLeod,
I, Cynthia McLeod,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support, obey, and defend
that I will support, defend, obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth,
and that I will discharge
and I will discharge
the duties of my office
the duties of my office
with fidelity.
with fidelity.
Congratulations.
Madam President, I would like to thank Mr. Pierce for
Yes.
submitting a letter of interest and reaching out to
Sure.
us, our community.
Marty, can you
Yes.
sign this?
Thank you so much, and please stay
You want to
engaged.
sign it real quick?
And
Give it
run.
back to me?
Run for office, get engaged. Yeah. Second that.
All right, well done. Okay, on with the agenda, environment, David.
Other than to state that the Environment Committee recognizes that Philadelphia eagles are a thriving species, we have nothing to report.
That's it? Wow, okay. Well, will you be meeting in, where are we in the month? Are you meeting this month?
We are meeting this month on the EAC on the fourth Tuesday, the EC on the fourth Wednesday, our usual times.
Okay.
And tree committee is every other month, and I'll remind people about March events and things like that later. The next upcoming event is the Bird Watch on this Saturday, 7:45 at the train station, led by our solicitor, Bob Scott. So be there. It's just a
Awesome.
two-hour wonderful tour.
So many talents.
Yes.
Thank you. Finance, Cindy, I won't do this to you. Bill, would you like to?
I'm happy to do it, Miss Kristen.
Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, the committee.
No.
Right, I didn't even think of that.
We planned on,
Go ahead.
did we plan on Bill doing it? You were gonna do it, right?
I'm happy to do it.
Right, I want to just say that Steve Carr, bless him, did circulate the pack that he usually does. He shared some questions I asked, that was late this afternoon or early this evening, and I sent them on to Bill and asked him if he could please address Steve's questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sure. So I'm going to request a motion to pay bills in the amount of $652,262.06.
Is there a second?
Second.
He
Oh,
needs-
I'm sorry.
he needs-
You can't move it.
He needs a motion, yeah.
Oh.
What was the amount again?
$652,262.06.
So,
Okay, I would like to make a motion to approve bills in the amount of $652,
262,
26202,
6206.
6206.
Is there a second?
Second.
David, okay. Any questions?
It's right in front of me.
All in favor of paying the bills, say aye.
Aye.
So if I could just give a little context as to why that number seems so high. Our Delcor payment is in this month's payables, which is $275,383.50. And we're also making that purchase of that vacuum truck that we received the DEP grant for in the amount of $187,924.80, which will be reimbursed back to us from DEP. So that money, we have to pay it, we have to show that we paid it, and then they'll reimburse.
For people who haven't been following along, can you just say what the Delcor payment is?
Sure, the Delcor payment is the sewer bill,
The sewers.
for the processing of the sewer.
Okay.
And then the next, I would request a excuse me, I would request a motion to approve the wire transfers in the amount of $6,338.67, which is our monthly debt service payment.
I'll move that we pay the wire transfer of $6,338.67.
Second.
Questions, comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
So the last thing is, I'm asking, we were requested by Bob and Carl to make the final retainage payment to the DePaul company. It was outside of the regular meeting, so I'm asking to ratify a check in the amount of $27,205.75.
And what was this for?
This was for the culvert.
The culvert work.
So I'd like to make a motion to pay DePaul and Company in the amount of $27,205.75.
It's not, this part's not covered.
Is there a second?
Second.
Comments, questions, everybody know what this is? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Anything else? Nothing else?
Well, you
We'll
know,
meet in 2 weeks.
right, well, the fourth Monday at 5 o'clock, is that when we're meeting? And Steve passed on some questions. Why don't we address those at the Finance Committee?
Yeah, I mean, there's some of the same questions he's asked that we've answered several times, but I had no problem getting those answers to you.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Anything else from finance? Okay, general government, Jana.
Yeah, I have a couple things tonight. The first one, which we've discussed over the last 2 months or so, is the consideration of ordinance 02-2025, which amends chapter 207 related to the duties of the Human Relations Commission. I believe the language was passed around last month and we discussed it. So I'd like to make the motion to make it official.
Second.
Everybody know what this is? We discussed it at length. Geometry's here, I think, to answer questions if anyone has any lingering questions. Okay, let's take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Geometry, thank you for the last, it seems like a long time, but maybe the last 3 months in getting this to the floor. So I appreciate all of your efforts.
Yeah, thank you for facilitating the conversation around it.
And then the second item for tonight is the consideration to accept Jennifer Smith's resignation from the HRC. She's moving, and it was submitted to Bill last week.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Sorry to see her go. She's my neighbor.
Just about that, we did receive one other person who was interested in being appointed to the HRC when we had the open requests. However, in accordance with our standard protocol, we did send an ad to the Swarthmore again, so we'll see if we receive any other applicants for that.
Okay, and I passed on the information, although we didn't get a resume, but I did
It was
pass
just a
on,
letter, yeah.
the information to Geometry and company. So hopefully by next month, we'll have a go-forward plan. And then general government is not meeting this month, but we will likely have, hopefully schedule our first focus group that came out of the roundtable discussion that we had with the merchants of Swarthmore and Swarthmore Town Center last month.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
I would appreciate, and you know, it's up to you, your committee, that there was a piece in the Swarthmorean about your roundtable, and we had competing meetings going on, so I was unable to attend, and I've gotten a couple of calls and said, well, what do they want? I said, well, I wasn't at the meeting. And you had said, hey, it was an unofficial meeting because we didn't have a quorum and you weren't going to post minutes. It may be useful if you could post your view of what occurred at that meeting so that, you know, the public seems to want to know more than what was in the Swarthmore.
I would ask that they reach out to me.
Yeah.
I would appreciate that. I think it was an official meeting, so I don't intend to post any minutes. Also, I thought the Swarthmore did a good job of covering it. Having said that, if any folks want to understand the nuances of the meeting, I'm happy to address that.
All right. We'll talk offline. Thank you.
Okay, planning and zoning, Scarlett.
Last week, I gave committee report that shared a whole lot going on last month and this month, so I'm just going to repeat the upcoming dates. Upcoming this month, Cindy, welcome to the committee, I sure hope. So here comes. Jam-packed schedule. This month on February 19 at 5 p.m., the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee will meet. Following that meeting, same night, February 19th at 7 p.m., Planning Commission meeting. And then the next evening, February 20th at 7 p.m., Planning and Zoning Committee meeting. And all of those will be rich community dialogues for certain. So tonight, just one matter that is a carryover from 2024. I'd like to motion to adopt Ordinance 1, 2025, amending the methodology to measure building height. And I'm happy to answer any questions or refresh people's understanding of that topic, but this has been through Swarthmore Planning Commission, Delaware County Planning Commission, Planning and Zoning Committee, and perhaps other filters as well. But how does that sound?
You started that as a motion, right?
It was an emotion way back there. Yes, way
so
back there.
I'm going to second that.
Thank you.
And thanks for explaining it so clearly.
Questions or reactions? Lay it on us, Jill.
Lay it on you as in,
Take away.
no discussion, zero, nothing? Okay.
Beat this horse dead.
Okay, right, exactly. All in favor of ordinance 01-2025 entitled Building Height? Well, redefining building height as an amendment, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes.
That's it for me tonight.
Hoorah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, public safety, Kristen.
Yes, thank you. We will be meeting this month. It's not at our regularly scheduled time because it's a holiday, so we are meeting on Tuesday. It's the last Tuesday of the month. Let me get the date for you. 25th. Thank you, Jenna.
9 a.m.
At 9 a.m. Thank you. So I'd like to make a motion for consideration of Resolution 01-2025 for the police car purchase.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jared,
Discussion?
we'll give it to Jared. Okay, any discussion on this? We talked about 2 police cars last week. This is the one that we were supposed to purchase last year, or the broken car?
This is the one that we're supposed to purchase in 2024.
Okay.
Are they both? Do you have 2 motions? Do you have 2
So
resolutions?
the other one's coming off because the dealership and the finance company didn't get Ray the numbers and the VIN numbers that we needed to complete the resolution.
Okay.
So we're pushing that to next month.
Okay. That's too bad.
So
No,
this
the
is,
car's on hold, so
Oh, good.
we will not lose it.
Okay, good.
so this is the one related to purchasing a car this year that we were supposed to and budgeted for last year?
Correct.
Okay. Any further comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Yes.
Just for the public's information, the reason we didn't purchase the car during last year's budget cycle was because of the supply chain issues. The car wasn't available, so we had to put it off, and now we have it. And Ray has informed me today that we will be officially, with the next purchase, the only full hybrid fleet in Delaware County.
Good, excellent.
That's great.
Can't wait till we go all electric.
If I talk to Ford about that.
You need more miles, don't you?
Okay, is that?
Nope, one more thing. Yep, so I'd like to make a motion for, we're paying for Canoni to do a study, not a study, I guess, a striping plan for Park Avenue. So we are looking at changing that very awkward angled parking that we have on Park Avenue and potentially turning it into parallel parking.
And that's
I'm sorry.
striping and not stripping, right?
Yes.
Is that what?
Yep.
I'm just bragging.
I saw that, but Gotta ignore it. Maybe they do that in Shangri-La, but not here.
Well, I've been thinking about New Orleans all this. When I did this, that's what I was thinking about.
I'll second the striping.
Okay, any comments about the striping of Park Avenue? We all know about it, what it's related to. Cindy, feel free to ask questions like,
What is that?
we got nothing but
I
time.
know about that one. Okay. Let's finish this. I did have one question about the car.
Oh,
But
sure.
finish this.
Yeah.
So we have a motion, we have a second. Any comments?
Do we know the timetable or approximate timetable?
For this,
Yeah,
I do not have a timetable. I probably, ASAP.
Shouldn't take long.
it's the drawing.
It's the drawing.
Okay,
Yeah.
for us to
And it's not
assess
to
pros and
exceed
cons.
$2,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And, you know, Bill and I think it was Jared and Brian and I have, you know, been through a very informal measurement way back when we first saying, oh, how many spaces might we lose? And yeah, so hopefully this will confirm our back of the envelope calculations.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion
And-
passes.
And I just have one thing I wanted to mention to the public. WSSD has added cameras to their school buses, so I think that anyone that has ever had to put a kid on a bus at any time of day will appreciate the fact that there's now going to be a camera that will trigger as the arm goes down to catch anyone that goes around the school bus. I'm so excited for this, and so Ray's going to have an officer that will review the footage, and those people will get tickets, which is great. So thanks for doing that, Ray. And that's all I have.
Cindy, you had a question?
I had a question about the cars. I know we voted to purchase it. Does the amount allotted include the light bar and the decals and the radios?
That's fully outfitted.
Yes, the what they call upfitting
Yeah.
is rolled into the purchase price, which is one of the delays
Yeah.
that's taking place, is trying to get those quotes, and the financer works with both, because they're separate companies.
I'm
They work.
familiar with how that works. I used to supervise the law enforcement operations, so yes.
Okay, so that's it for public safety?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Public Works, Jared.
Good evening, everybody. I don't have anything to report tonight. Our next meeting is going to be on the 20th at 9 a.m. We will be discussing another planting at Moja Park, as well as the restroom at Little Front Creek Park. I encourage everybody to join us either in person or online. We're going to do a Teams meeting again this month for those that are curious to learn more about that but can't attend in person. And I'll just clarify from a comment earlier, currently we have, the project cost is over $200,000. We have a significant donation to go towards that balance, and actually two significant donations to go towards that balance. Right now, the borough's responsibility would be right around $30,000. And we will discuss that more at the Public Works meeting if you'd like some more details. We encourage, we'd like to have a discussion about it. And we very much would like public input on the project. And that's all I have.
All right, thank you, Jared. Now, a very important time of the year. As I understand it, the mayor is going to deliver his State of the Borough
I
address.
feel like the spoiler tonight. We'll be out of here at 7:30.
Take your time.
Bill sent your Yes, as part of the mayor's responsibility, it is required that he or she deliver a State of the Borough address and report to the council and the public each year. I generally have made that a part of our February meeting, since I can compile things that happened generally through the past year. Some of these things actually happened prior to, and some may be happening shortly, but so I just wanted to let people know. You know, one of the really interesting aspects of doing this every year, which is kind of a chore and who wants to hear me talk, is just seeing how much really got done. It's hard to really, on a month-to-month basis, as we pass these things and do these things, really get a sense of how much we do here in the borough. And I think putting it down on paper really helps people understand how much gets done. And this doesn't include what our volunteer groups do, what happens, and I mean, this is just really a snapshot of some of the things that happened during the past year. And so let me just kind of briefly go through this, and I'll try to be as brief as possible. First and foremost, and most importantly probably, is the fact that we ended up last year in a very healthy financial situation. Thanks to the oversight by Borough Manager Bill Webb and the Finance Committee, the results of our annual audit demonstrated that we are following all the best practices relative to handling the finances of the borough. And again, it's with real regret that we bid farewell to Steve Karp. He was a wonderful addition to this body, and we will miss him. But Cindy, we're so happy to have you staying in the chair. And again, Steve led the Finance Committee laudably and competently for the last year, so we really appreciate everything that he brought to the table. This has been a very active year for grants. We've been active and successful, securing a number of grants for necessary and worthwhile projects in the borough. Just to go through, this is most of the major grants at any rate. We received $120,000 for the renovations to our police department, which were sorely needed after about 25 years of nothing being done to it to bring it up to date. And that we have Representative General Mayer to thank for helping us secure the funds, and to Ray for leading the effort in getting that project done. It was well overdue. And if you haven't seen it, make an appointment to go down and take a look and see what's going on down there. It really is a great improvement that will help the functionality of the police and the officers. We received $200,000 from DEP for the purchase of the new leaf collection truck, or that will be coming in once the truck is here. Senator Tim Carney helped us secure a $50,000 grant that will allow us to move forward with police accreditation. I don't expect policies and activities and procedures of our police to change very much, because I think we've been pretty much in line with most accredited policies in the past, but this will give us official accreditation, and it's something that the state and state legislature is pushing. So we thank Tim for getting us the money that will help us prepare the accreditation with the help of a consultant, and probably about 2 years of continuing our accreditation requirements, because they are somewhat time consuming. We received an LSA grant for over $694,000 for stormwater improvements to Little Crum Creek Park. A $300,000 grant from DCED for stormwater improvement to Henderson Field. Actually, I think that was $400,000, but we have a $100,000 map, so the net was $300,000 to us. We've received a commitment from Centennial Foundation for $190,000 and $30,000 from the college to help with the project regarding the bathrooms over in Little Crum Creek Park. So a very small amount of that will be borough contribution. And I will say that to answer one of the questions tonight, I've heard from a number of people, especially the senior groups, that they are really, it's difficult for them to use that because there are no bathroom facilities down there. So I think it will help the usability of the park, and perhaps even get more people down there, since it is such a treasure. I'm sorry, Sue?
Volunteering.
Oh, and volunteering, that's right. And I probably left out a few contributions and grants and gifts that have gone, again, to make this place such a great place to live. Some of the accomplishments of the borough: we completed about 20 to 25 ADA curb compliant curb cuts that will make traversing our town more accessible for everybody. We completed the roof replacement for Borough Hall this year. We're working on security upgrades for Borough Hall to ensure the safety of residents and those who work in the building. We completed the repairs on the stormwater culverts on both Dartmouth and Benjamin West. It was found, as you recall, it was found that installation that was done decades ago didn't have proper support under them, and the roadways were in danger of collapse. So that was something that came out of the blue, but was done, in record time, actually. Thank you, Bill. We will be installing closed circuit security cameras throughout town center with funds from the borough and some financial assistance from Swarthmore College. The library's completed a plan to extensively upgrade its space to make it a better experience for all residents. Those of you that haven't seen the plans, they're in the library. I'd urge you to go and take a look at them. They're really, it's going to make it a much more attractive and usable space for everybody. Unfortunately, there's no space in which to expand, so they're just trying to utilize the space they have and make it more functional. And we are working, as was mentioned, toward an implementation of a rental inspection.